So let us start with the Mathematics 2022 preparatory class for students. So in this video, I will be taking you guys through the fastest possible way to solve mathematical question. And just to help you with some of the questions, we are taking it from 0 to hero. So we are going to start with the first question. I hope you can see what is being displayed on your screen. And if you are new to this channel, this is mostly academic modified channel. We have other channels for physics and chemistry and so on and so forth. You can consider subscribing to this channel if you find anything interesting, and also tell your friends about the channel. Like I do say, mathematics is very easy and it is very broad. So you just have to have an idea. And from mathematics Waec, I think you have all studied what is required in your schools and in your various coaching centers, I believe. But if not, you can still use this video to learn one or two new things. So basically, like I do say again, you must have an idea about algebra and some other things before you can consider yourself ready for examination. Let's start with the first question. The first question is typical Waec question. Evaluate without using calculator. You see everything. So what comes to your mind first, my dear student, should be what we call board mass. But before that, you can rearrange equation and try and solve in your own way. Like I used to say, in your own way. In your own way is very, very important. Because if you are copying as Waec examiner, it is easy for us to know when we are marking. Because mathematics can be solved in different ways. So let's do this quickly. We don't have that time because we have a long way to go. So 1 over 4, I turn this one to improper fraction from mixed fraction, and the 63 plus 1, that's 64. Let me just break it down. So I take it as A here. So I'll say this is 1 over 4 multiplied by 64 over 7. Then we are adding this to plus 2 over 5. We are opening a bracket here. LCM of this guy is 12. This is, please, I told you about all this. I don't think you guys should have issues with this. This is 12. 3 in 12 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 in 12 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 8 plus 9 is at 17 over 12 because we have to save time. Then we are dividing all this answer with LCM is 20. That is 8 minus 5. 8 minus 5 is 3 over 20. So that's the first step. The second step is just to make sure you understand what you are doing. You can simplify here. 4 here 1, 4 here 16. 4 here 1, 4 here 16. That is 16 over 7. Plus, you might cut, you might not cut. It is allowed. 2 over 5 times, everybody know bracket is multiplication. 17 over 12. You can simplify this as well, if you like, divided by 3 over 20. Next step, my dear student, is just to break all these guys here. You can just do them on simplification, like I do say, on simplification. On simplification, we are going to have this is we can cut, you can add and cut. This should be, I'm using calculator right now. 1198 over 420 divided by 3 over 20. So we can also simplify this finally and say our answer to this will be 1198 over 420. We have to flip this. Everybody knows 20 over 3. So we can say 20 can go here. You know that 0 gets cancelled out. 2 here 1, 2 here 21. So we can go like that. Then doing this one directly with calculator. Let me leave my answer in mixed fraction. This is giving me 19 old number 1 over 63. So read the question and answer. I don't think this one should give us any problem from my own belief. I think this is what everybody should be able to do. Then the B part of the question. Now, the B part of the question is one of the most important questions you should expect. A hunter walked 250 meters from a point P on a bearing of 42 degrees. Now, 42 degrees, you and I know is on the first quadrant. You can just try and draw because it's first quadrant. I draw my bearing coordinates like this. Then 42 degrees, I can just bring out a line. Diagram not done to scale, but we are trying to make sure you understand everything. You know the cardinality stuff, north, south, west, and east. It may not be important, but the question does not require that. So this guy was 42, 042. That is an example of whole circle bearing. I know your teacher would have explained this concept to you. So each bearing coordinate is 90. You can see 90 from 42. That should be 48. Permit me please with my diagram. Apologies. It is not that clear or that neat rather. So that is that all bearing must alternate and alternate angle are equal. So that's the next thing. Now here from P to Q on 250, this is 250 meters. So the question is calculate correct to nearest meter, the vertical distance it has to go. We know the vertical distance. So complete the diagram. This is it. Then to have a kind of a right angle triangle. So we have something like that. Then this is a right angle triangle. Let it be known. Now you are looking for vertical distance, which I call x here. The angle here is 48. Right angle triangle, this can also be 42. The alternate angle are equal. Anyhow you want to do it, it depends. You are looking for this. So just use your SOHCAHTOA. Using SOHCAHTOA. I hope students still remember this. So we can simplify this and say opposite of hypotenuse, or you say adjacent of hypotenuse. It depends. If you are using 48, this is opposite hypotenuse. Opposite and hypotenuse is sine. Sine 48 degree is equals to opposite angle is the vertical height, which the question asks us to know, divided by 250. So on cross multiplication, I'm pointing your calculator, sine 48 times this is what? This is giving me 886 meters, which is the question answer. I hope students understand that, and that is all about questioning. Now we move to question 2. Doing so, yes, question 2. Question 2. About question 2, we have question on word problems, which I think is also one of the most important questions for Waec this year. If you are preparing for this exam, you must have a very good idea on how to solve questions on word problems. So let's solve this one together. We can say the solution. So we are told that Musa is 3 years older than Manya. So we can consider let Musa, you guys like writing a lot of stories, but because it's just a kind of class which I don't want the video to pass 2 hours at most. So I'll be cutting some stuff so that we can quickly just understand the way and the process. Now, Musa, let Musa's age be X and Manya be Y. So I take Musa to be equals to X, and I take Manya to be equals to Y. What's most of the teacher love using? We all love using X and Y. You can use any alphabet, please. If you want to actually show that what you are doing this thing on your own, please. Now, Musa is 3 years older than Maya. So that means Musa X is 3 years older than Maya. Maya is Y. So you have to add 3 to Maya's age. That's the interpretation. Most teachers like to call the system of equation 1. Next statement says Musa was twice as old 7 years ago. Sorry about that. 7 years ago, interpretation, the way we interpret, we can say 7 years ago. So 7 years ago, we say Musa age is your age now minus 7. That is Musa. This is Musa. And Maya age 7 years ago is y minus 7 because our present age is y. 7 years ago, your age is just subtracting 7 from your present age. I hope you understand that. So 7 years ago, Musa was twice as old as Maya. So this is Musa 7 years ago. Twice means 2 times as old as this is Maya, y minus 7. I hope students understand this. So how old are they now? So you need to solve the equation. So I call this system of equation 2. So we must have learned how to solve simultaneous equation in our junior classes. So substituting 1 in 2, you can see this is x and this is x. I can do that. We can substitute equation 1 in 2 where I see x. I am putting this value. So doing that, my dear students, I'm going to have a y plus 3 minus 7. I am only showing this. Is equals to, you can distribute this. 2 times y is 2y. Minus 2 times 7 is 14. Simplification will give you this as a y is equals to, this is if you are looking for y, and this is 3 minus 7 is minus 4. So you have minus 1 minus 14 coming down here. It should be 10. Y answer is equals to 10 years. So this is y is 10 years. And from equation 1, x is equals to y plus 3. Simplification will give you 13. When you substitute y answer, x is 13 years. So both of their age, Musa is 13 years and Maya is 10 years. I hope you understand my simplification. If you have anything, you can just expand and do it and collect your like times. Please, time is always a major problem. It's a constraint we have to work against. So the second question says, when will the sum of them be 45, as in the sum of their age? Presently, we know the age of Maya and the age of Musa. So we are looking at when will their age be the sum of the age. The sum of their presently the age is 13. So we are doing number 2 now. When will the sum of their age be equals to 45? The age now is 13 for Musa, and plus we are looking for the time. I will take that one to be equals to 8 plus the other person's age is 10. Maya is 10 plus a. The sum of their age. When will the sum of their age will equals what? Equals 45. So the sum of their age, we are looking for when. So let that particular time in here be denoted by a, according to my own interpretation now. I'm using a, you can use any alphabet. So 13 plus what's here, added, which is the sum, with respect to the question, the sum, 10 plus what's here will be the sum of the two ages added together to be equals to 45. You can do this simplification. 13 plus 10 are 23. A plus A are 2, 8 is equals to 45. So here, guys, you can substitute 2 is 45 minus 23. 45 minus 23 is 22. And say 2 is 22. And A is equals to 22 over 2. I hope students understand this. That means in 11 years' time, the sum of their age will be equals to 45. So those are the answers to question 2. Typical Waec question, word problem, you just need to calm down, solve those questions, and make sure you solve them correctly. Avoid mistakes. That is why you have to learn all these things before the exam day. So we move to the next question. Question 3. Yes, about question 3, we have a kind of diagram. We have a diagram shows an athletic track with 2 parallel sides and 2 semicircular sides. Please follow the line of the question. These are 2 parallel sides, and these guys are semicircle. So this semicircle, and this guy is also semicircle. That these guys are 2 parallel sides. They are parallel. You will not told that this is a rectangle or anything. Each of the parallel sides is 60 meters. This side is 60 meters. This guy is also 60 meters. They are parallel. That means they are equal by symmetry. And the diameter of each circular is 120. So the diameter is 120 here. The diameter is also 120 meter here. We can also recall from our primary and junior secondary schools talking about a semicircle is half of a circle. So my dear students, we don't need to waste our time in this. Let's read the first question. I think the first question actually asks us to calculate the distance covered by the athlete who runs around the track 2 times. Technicality is 2 times. So we can do this together. I think we should be able to solve everything under one stuff like this. So we are told here that the distance traveled. So that means we need to calculate all the total movement at this point. So the two parallel sides, we can just do that. Just like saying you are looking for perimeter of this. So I'm doing A first. So the two parallel side is 2, that's 2 times 60. I'm adding all the perimeter of the shape. Plus, this is 2 semicircle will give me a circle. So I can just say a circle, then the perimeter of a circle, 2 semicircle will give me a circle. I hope students understand that. So the perimeter of a circle is 2 pi r. What to say circumference of a circle? That is 2 times 22 over 7 times radius. Don't be fooled by this. This is diameter. Diameter is 120 meter. So it means the radius should be half. And half of 120 is 60 meter. So don't make mistake. Anybody can make mistake. So we have 2 times 20 over 7 times 60. So here will be the distance, and calculator will be 120 plus 44 times 60 over 7. So calculator is allowed in Waec, and that is why I'm using it. With this UTME, you can't see me using calculator. So pressing calculator here will give us 497.1429. That is what I have here, meter. That is the total distance covered. But we are told that this guy, or the diagram, we are talking about the athlete that runs this track 2 times. So therefore, that's the technicality here, I think. So 2 times will now be equals to twice of this value. So it will be 2 times 497.1429. So on simplification, my dear student, this should give you an answer. I'm trying to point calculator. This is 994.2857 meter. I hope students understand that. So this is the answer Waec we mark. If you have solved halfway, you are not going to have a full mark. So and if it is objective, it means you have missed it. So that is why I do tell you sometimes theory might be simpler compared to OYEDEE. So B part of the question B now. About B, we are told that if the athlete spends 200 seconds for the race, calculate the speed in kilometer per hour. Typical Waec question. Every student should know, whether a science, non-science student, that speed is always distance covered divided by the time. That is the way we do it. So I think the only technicality here is that there's also a conversion, kilometer per hour. So please, dear students, if you are not a science student, you just need to listen to this process. So the distance covered, we already know this is the distance because the athlete is running the track 2 times. So we are going to use the track of 2 times, 994.2857. We are dividing by the time the athlete is using. He or she is using 200. So dividing this on calculator, you are going to have the answers in meters per second. But I was told to calculate my answer because remember, this distance is in meter and the time given here is in seconds. There are a lot of ways in which you can convert, but I can give you the fastest way. Don't disturb yourself. If you are converting from kilometer per hour to meters per second, I'm only taking this directly for a non-science student. I know most of the science students, you are used to this thing in your physics. Kilometer per hour to meters per second, just multiply by 5/18, multiply. But if you are doing otherwise, if you are converting from meters per second to kilometers per hour, just multiply by 18/5. So that's the direct shortcut you can always use. So because this is my answer in meters per second, and I need to put it in kilometers per hour, I'll multiply by 18/5 directly. How do I come by 18/5? It's also simple to explain, but because of time, 1,000 kilometers make 1 meter. Then 3,600 seconds is equals to 1 hour. You can divide those two. You are going to see that the simpler form, the simplest form, is 18/5. So doing this, we have 994.2857 over 200. We are multiplying by 18/5. So my dear student, punch this on your calculator. I'm also doing that. Calculator is allowed. The answer will be 17.8973 kilometer per hour. So this will be the question answer, and this is what you are expected to do. So we move to the next question. I think now we are on question 4. Good. Now, question 4. About question 4, we're told that a man charged 2 kobo per month for every 1 naira. So be careful about conversion and never know maybe the question is not going to need that. The kobo and naira. He borrowed, a man charged 2 kobo per month for every 1 naira he borrowed from the bank. At what rate per annum was the interest charged? Please always note that rates are always charged in terms of percentage. So rates are always charged in terms of percentage. So it's a simple thing. If you are being charged 2 kobo per month for every 1 naira, 2 kobo per. So rate every month. I can just help you write this. Rate every month is a simple question. Rate every month is on 1 naira is 2/100. That is per month. Per month. Rate is in terms of percentage. I hope students understand. So we are looking for rate per annum. Rate per annum. Annum is a year. 12 months make a year. So it will be 2 times 12/100 divided by 100 again, which will now turn to times 100/1. So this is basically 100 gets cancelled out. 2 times 12 is 24% per annum. So that's the amount it is being charged per annum. It's a simple question. So people can even say directly, you can say 2 kobo per annum in 1 year with 2 times 12, that is 24. But be careful to solve like this because rates are always in terms of 100%. I hope students understand that. So if so, we can solve question number B. The B part of the question says, we have a diagram which is more like a cyclic quadrilateral. So let's read through the question. In the diagram, measure of length WX is equals to measure of length XY, which is also equals to measure of length ZY. And the measure of angle WXY is 80. What is the size of the measure of angle XWZ? So I hope they can solve this because I don't think this one should be a problem. But if it's a problem, we can also try as much as possible to demystify it. The first theorem you just need to learn here, my dear student, is the theorem of what we call cyclic quadrilateral. Opposite angle of a cyclic quadrilateral are supplementary. And the meaning of supplementary is they are equals to 108. I'm only trying to redraw this off for you guys to see what is required. So I don't want to waste time, but sometimes I just have to do it. For some of us, we don't like this aspect. I don't know how to skip. So that's not that. Then the last one. So cyclic quadrilateral. In it here we have 80. So this is the opposite angle. This and these are opposite. These and these are also opposite. So they are supplementary, means when you add them together, they must give you 180 degrees. So what I will do here, guys, in order for you to be able to visualize, is that I'm going to join the lines together so that you can see very well. I'm joining this with this, and I'm also doing the same thing from this point to this point. But before I go into that, I told you about opposite angle of a cyclic quadrilateral. So if this guy is 80, this guy should be 100. You can call it anything you want to call it. So because I said opposite angle of a cyclic, that is a quadrilateral that is drawn inside a circle, must be equals to 180. So you can just let the examiner know because it's a theoretical question, and that is why I am taking my time to make sure you understand this. We cannot run to anywhere. This type of question are definitely going to come as on your circle geometry. So now here we can say, I can say measure of angle Z is equals to, just write it the way you know it. It's simple. You don't need to be writing triangle form if you don't know how to write it. Please note that. is equals to 180 minus 100. So which is equals to 80 degrees. So you can just write opposite angle of cyclic quad. Quad there, guys, means the lateral, right, the lateral. That is not where I'm going. I also have other things to explain here because the question asked me to find XWZ, see, XWZ. So I'm looking for all the angle here. That's the angle. Because before I can get there, I think there are still other things I can do. Because I am bringing a line to bisect, see, from X to, I'm taking a line from X to Z. So if this is a line bisector, this angle here will be divided into two halves. So what I'm saying is that the half of this angle here is 50. And recall, you were told that this guy and this guy are equal. That is base angle of an isosceles triangle. So this guy is also 50. I hope you understand. So I can bring this triangle X, Y, Z, which I'm going to do now for you guys to see it clearly. So I'm going to bring triangle X, Y, Z the way it is for you guys to see. I think I have, okay, the way it is. Let me rotate it so that we can see what I'm talking about. That is the angle, the triangle I'm talking. This is X, this is Z, and this is Y. So in it here, half of it here was 50. I'm wasting time on this. It's very simple, but explanation matters. Then this is also 50. So because this is isosceles triangle, so I can get remaining angle as Y. So you can just like remaining angle from triangle X, Y, Z will now be equals to 180. Some of angle in triangle is 180 minus remaining angle is the angle at Y. 180 minus 50 plus 50. So Y is equals to 180 minus 100, which is equals to 8. I hope you understand that. So what I'm saying is that the angle here is 80. This is 100 minus 180 is 80. That is 80 is the angle here. You take it in the way why I want you to take it. I don't want to take it directly. The answer is 80. I know the answer here should be 100 directly. But for us to understand. Now, look at what I explained also again. Opposite angle of a cyclic line. You know I'm looking for this guy. So you can now say therefore, which is what you are looking for, the size of measure of angle XWZ is equals to 180 minus 80 degrees. The answer is what? 100 degrees. Reason is also what? Opposite angle of quadrilateral, or a cyclic quadrilateral. So this is the answer to the question. I hope students understand the way I have demystified that. So please, let's move to the next step. Question number 5. Thank you. Now, question 5. About question 5, we have the table shows the distribution of scores obtained when a fair die is rolled 50 times. The score against the frequency, we have the data. We have to draw a bar chart of the distribution. Let's do that. I think I just need to explain what a bar chart means. I don't think that one should take our time. So talking about this, I think I've plotted that down so that I won't waste time as well. We can quickly look into how to plot a bar chart. Now, just always keep it in mind that when you are plotting a bar chart, the frequency will be, just keep this in mind, frequency will be on the vertical column, whereas the score will be on the horizontal column. I hope students still know what is meant by vertical and horizontal column. So if you know what I'm talking about, so I think you should be able to draw. And again, a bar chart is different from histogram. So I can also, like I do tell students in offline classes, bar chart separates histogram drawn. So that's this. That is when you're drawing out the bar chart, Then again, you also keep in mind, I think it's also important to keep in mind of scale. Don't just go and use an arbitrary scale like what is here directly, not start plotting. Please let there be some space in your scale. Look at what I've plotted, and I want you guys to just see this for understanding sake. This is what I've plotted for you guys to see, and this is it. I hope you can see this. Look at this diagram. Now from here, guys, you can see this score. You can see the scale of the frequency that I chose. Now, I have chosen the scale of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. You don't need to write the scale. You are not plotting a physics graph. But if you write it, it's still not a problem. Now, 1 centimeter represents 1 centimeter represents 2 units. So that's what, and this one is just a direct 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what I did was when the score was 1, the frequency was 2. This is the score was 1, frequency was 2. When the score was 2, it was 5. You can see in between 4 and 6. So this is a very good scale, which I believe everybody should be able to do. So in sequence, let us go to the second part of the question, which I think, please make sure you don't join them. If it's histogram, they will what? They are going to be joined together. You understand what I mean by that? So guys, the second part says we have to calculate the mean of the distribution. So looking for the mean. I know this is also very simple. Mean is summation fx over summation f, which I always write as sum of numbers over the total number. So the sum of the number by the total number, we just need to be careful about it. I don't think this one should give us any problem. So let's get the sum of all these numbers. The total number is 50 times. We have been told if you add all the frequency, it's 50. So we have to do something. 1 times 2. I hope students remember that to get the sum. You multiply the score, multiply by the frequency. 2 times 1 is 2. You are adding to 2 times 5 is 10. You are adding to 13 3s are 39. 4 times 11s are 44. 5 times 9s are 45. Then 6 times 10s are 60. You are dividing all this with the total number. Total number is 50 times. You can add 2 plus 5 plus this over 50. Wow. Divided by 50. So that is on simplification, add 2 plus 10 plus 39, 20, 39, 50. This is 200 divided by 50. So 200 divided by 50, the mean of this is 4. So that is the answer for question number 5. So in sequence, we move to question number 6. I hope students understand this stuff. So tan x is equals to 5 over 12, where 0 degree is less than x and it is less than 90 degrees. Evaluate without using mathematical tables or calculator sine x all over sine square x plus cos x. I think this is another one of the most important questions you guys should expect. That is testing your knowledge of Trig. So basically, most of us teachers prefer teaching students in terms of Pythagoras theorem, which is the fastest way, and I think that is being taught in your own school too. Then if that is the case, so solving this one from Pythagoras theorem, if tan x is equals to 5 over 12. So we can get the third side of the right angle triangle, and makes me to just be very fast from Pythagoras theorem. Sorry about not drawing a neat diagram, I just wanted to be fast. Tan is opposite over adjacent. From Pythagoras theorem, this should be 13. I have used Pythagoras triplets directly. I hope students have been taught that. So that means I can just conclude and say directly here that sine x, so casual, sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite now of that triangle is 12. Hypotenuse is 13. Then I can say cos x. Cos is adjacent, that is 5. For sine is this is an error. Tan is opposite. That should have actually caused a lot of wrong answers, which I don't always like when I'm solving. Opposite is 5, adjacent is 12. I have used Pythagoras theorem to get this side. And for those who don't know, this is it, x squared, I'm just putting that side x, equals to 5 squared plus 12 squared. On simplification, everything here is 169. So when you go for the square root of it, basically you are going to get 13. Sorry, I have to make it fast. So first is adjacent. This is our opposite because I'm taking that side as my angle. This is adjacent and hypotenuse is always the longest side. So adjacent to hypotenuse is, this should be sine is 5, opposite over 13. That was what I spot. The error I spot, this is 5. So basically let me clean it. This is 5. Then cos s is 12 over 13. So we have to find sine x, which is equals to sine is 5 over 13. We have to find sine x squared. See the way I'm doing it, which we write as sine square x. Either it is in this format, 5 over 13 all squared. 5 squares are 25. 13 squares are 169. We have to find the last one is cos x. 12 over 13. So let's substitute into the line of the question. The question says sine x, which is 5 over 13. We are dividing that with, I'm following the line of the question now. We are dividing that with sine square x is 25 over 169 plus cos s is 12 over 13. So on simplification, you go for LCM and you divide. LCM here is 169, 13 times 25 plus 12. Simplify this, my dear students. You are going to have 65 over 181. So this should be the question answer for that. I don't want to waste our time on what I believe you can also simplify. Send to the B part of the question. Let's see the B part. Fine. The B part of the question says, the diagram shows a rectangular lawn measuring 14 meter by 11 meter. A part of the uniform width, x meter, surrounds it. Find the total area of the part. If the total area of the part is 186 meters squared, how wide is the part? The diagram is not shown, but I think it is what we can draw. So let's try and draw that, my dear students. Rectangular lawn. So I'm trying to draw a rectangular line. This one is not even like a rectangle, it's more like a square. So just take it the way it is. Rectangular line, 14 by 11. A part of uniform with 8 centimeters surround it. So that means inside there is another line. Let me just take that one. So that means there's something like what we call the mensuration aspect of mathematics, whereby you have a diagram inscribing another diagram. This is famous question, and it's also one of the most important questions you can expect this year. So please take it very serious. So initially this guy is 14 by 11. So then it was now surrounded by, this was 14 by 11. So and it was now surrounded by this. So which basically, if you want to prove, I think I have videos on all this type of geometry on my first channel and everything on mensuration, even with shortcuts, even to the level of advanced mensuration. Though these are simple. So the dimension of the part was x, so the width will increase by 2x. This guy will be 14 plus 2x. The same thing is also applicable to the length. You've even done this thing with integration stuff. So if this was 11, this will also be 11 plus 2x. So that's just the technicality there. What's now happening? We have to find the value of x. So the area of rectangle, because we are given the area in the question. The area of rectangle is length times width. I hope length knows that. Area of rectangle is LB, or length times width. Now we have the initial area is we can just set some kind of the area of the shaded portion. That's just what this is all about. Like the way I normally teach in classroom. That's today most of these things are basically what your teacher has explained, but because you don't do more of those practice questions, that's why you think the questions are difficult. So to get the area of the shaded portion, which is what the examiner is trying to ask us here, is just subtracting the big area minus the small area. So let's do that together, my dear student. Area of this one should be length times 14 plus 2x. You know, when I put brackets, it means multiply. Multiply by 11 plus 2x. So I want to look for the width of this x. So I'm subtracting it by the area of the inside one is 14 times 11, which is also going to be in brackets. If I do that, it must definitely give me the total area of the part. That is the shaded area. That is the part, which is 186 meters. So on solving this one, maybe we should just expand together, because this is 1411 is 1 plus 4 is 5. That's 154. So doing this one, 1411, 154. 154 plus 20 plus 28. I'm sorry I'm rushing because I have to just do it. You can all expand this bracket. I know that. I am very positive about that. So 14 choose are 20, 28 are 56x plus 4x squared minus 354 equals 386. This gets cancelled out. On simplification, I'm going to divide both sides by 2x squared. This is plus 25x. Yes. Plus I have a plus 25x minus 93. I hope this is correct. I believe it is correct. So that should be it. So if we solve this one, now this is a quadratic equation. This should be correct. It should be correct. Yes, I'm just checking again. Yes, this is 28 plus 22. This is 50. So please, that was the error I had there. So divide through by 2, I'm having this. Solving this one, I'm looking for factors, product and sum. This is a quadratic equation. The first degree is this. I have to then know this very well. So 2 times 93 is what I need. So if I go by 2 times 93, then I break it down. This should be, the factor should be something like 31 and minus 6. The students should understand what I've done. The product is 25. The sum is 2 times 93, which is 186. 31 times 6 is 186, and this was how I come about that. So I can say 2x plus 31. Then I can say 2x minus 6. Direct shortcut is equals to 0. This is going to give me a negative answer. I always test them reject it because we are doing plain mensuration. So this is the only answer I can go with. 2x minus 6 is equals to 0. 2x is 6, x is equals to 3, right? So I just want to show you this. So x is equals to 3 is the correct answer to this, which is what the examiner, the wideness of the path, which is x, which I've used from there. So I hope you understand that. We can move to the next question. I think it's 7 now. We are getting there. Thank you. Now, question 7. About 7, we have some questions. Let's see. We have a shop had 2 reduction sales during which prices of all items were reduced by 40% in the first sales and 30% in the second sales. Let us quickly go back to rolling this side. So now we are given with some instructions. There are 2 reductions. The first is 40%. So let's go with the solution. And the second is 30%. If the shirt was sold at Ghana cedis of 35 during the second reduction sales, Please be careful about this statement. It was during the second. Find the final price. Find the price before the first. Find the price before the first sale. Pay the price of the article before the first reduction was 1/8. So this is instructional. So reduction by 40%. Just please, I hope you guys have learned percentages in your school, and if not, you can always listen. Percentage is 100. When there is a reduction of 40, 100 minus 40 is 60. So first reduction is 0.60. 60% is 60 over 100. So 0.60, that's the first reduction, and its multiplication. 30% reduction, 30 minus 100 is 70. 70% is 70 over 100. So 0.70. I hope you are following. So of a particular price, we don't know that the price equals to x, is giving us 180. So this is it. So on simplification, x will now be equals to make us a formula 180 divided by the product of the two reduction, which I've shown you in terms of short percentage formula, is 0.60 multiplied by 0.70. So this is the way you have to answer a question if you are following my online course to be very fast. And on simplification, I think it should give us Ghana cedis DHC 83.33 from calculator, please. That is the answer to the first question. I don't think this one should give us the problem. So the B part of the question, or in continuation, we have to find the total. Look at this. Find the total reduction in the price due to the two sales. Look at it. After if it was sold for 35 during the second reduction. So we should be careful about this when we are doing our interpretation. So let's take it during the reduction in the price due to the two sales. The first one was 40%. So I'm doing B now, my dear student. I'm using a black pen. B now. So reduction of 40%. 40% is 0.40. So 40% of the initial price, it was 180. That was the first one. Multiply this together, this is 72 Ghana cedis. Then the second one was now 30% in the second. 40% was the first, so 30% of the remainder. The total money was 180. I can also use this I've used, which is the right one. I just want you guys to get it. The first one was 0.4% of 180, 40% of 180. And the second one was 60%, 30% of the remainder. 30% of the remainder should be 30%, 0.30 times out of 180. 72 has been removed. 72 minus 180, everybody knows is 108. So let us be guided when we're solving this one. And we need to be careful. This is 32.40. So the question out of the total reduction, the first reduction is 72. And the second reduction is 32.40. All amount of monies are in terms of Ghana cedis. So we should just know what we are doing. GHC, it's now equals to GHC of the total addition of this 72 plus 32.40 should give us 104.40. So this should be the question answer. I hope students understand this stuff. Then the third question, the third one says the percentage reduction in the price of the article. So the total percentage is always in terms of so I'm doing the last one, which I call 4. So now this is the reduction after the two sales, 104.40 over the total amount is 180. We are multiplying all these answers times 100 because we are looking for percentage. So this will be calculator work. So this is giving me from here, I'm having 58%. So which is the answer for this one too, guys? So that is all about this. This type of question are one of the most important questions. You will expect in question 6. It is very important to understand this. We're talking about profit, trade, and loss, dividend, and stuff like that. Those questions are going to come out. They are going to come out. Please note that. Don't waste your time on them. Understand percentage very well. And make sure you solve correctly. The next question. Now, the next question. The next question is a question on a donkey is tied with a rope to a post which is 15 meters from the fence. I love reading. So now we have space. 15 meters from the fence. If the length of the rope between the donkey and the post is 17 meters, calculate the length of the fence within which the within the reach of the donkey. Wow. So I think this question on your understanding of your what we call elevation and depression stuff is just about how many have you practiced. Let's just do some stuff. So let's say this is the goalposts, just for understanding's sake. And in between the goalposts, the donkey is tied with a rope of 15 meters. Okay, let's say it was in between it. So the rope has a length of which is 15 meters, right, from the fence, away from the fence. So now, if the length of the rope between the donkey and the post is 17, this is the tie area, this is the post. So the length between, this is the donkey is here. So now the length between this point and this point. So that is what we are talking about. And that's mathematics for you. So we're talking about the length between, so I can also make an approximate line of the stuff here so that the question we have sense, we make sense rather. So I'm trying to get this, but I think I understand what the examiner is trying to test here. So now I want to show the length. This should be the length. Something, yes. Perfect. Yes, that's it. And it was 17 meters. This is question on understanding. So if you solve a lot of questions and you're mathematically inclined, you understand what I'm trying to do. So the donkey can actually move back and forth. So this is it. Oh wow. Supposed to use a line to draw that. So same thing here. So I'm trying to make a right angle triangle so that they are going to have a good way to solve it. So this is like, so the same thing applies here, any side. So the donkey can actually move from this end to this end. So note that donkey can move from this end to, from one end of the pole to the other end of the pole. That's what I'm trying to show. So from here, I think the question asks us to find the length of the fence within the reach of, that is from this point to this point. How should you understand that? So we can get this one, basically, this is perpendicular bisector. So, and because of that, we can use our Pythagoras theorem directly to get this point. Let's call this side x. And how that says, we can use Pythagoras theorem, we can say x squared is equals to 17 squared minus 15 squared. That is Pythagoras theorem. This should be 8, 8, 15, 17. If you are following my class, this should not be a problem. Solving this one, that's 289 minus 225, which is going to give you 64. So if x squared is 64, we are having x to be equals to square root of 64. So x is equals to 8 meter. So here to here is 8 meter. So if here to here is 8 meter, this is also 8 meter. So be careful. The total length, therefore, you can just write the total length within the reach of the donkey, length within the reach, is now 2 times 8. And 2 times 8 is nothing but 16. 16 meter. I hope you understand that. So the next one, we don't need to waste time, please. We have to be fast. The base of the right pyramid with vertex V is a square. So that is a square base pyramid, PQRS, of size 15 centimeter. If the slant height is at 32 centimeter long, present the information in a diagram. So let's draw a pyramid. The habitual way of drawing a pyramid, I don't want to draw a straight pyramid for you because if I draw that, you may not be able to get it through. So a square base pyramid, for you to visualize, I'm only trying to make everything neat. Wow. So a square-based pyramid, that's that. The first information, which is number 1, has been drawn. It's having a vertex. You can put the values PQRS depending on how you want to do it. If you like it like this, I want it to face you like this. It all depends. So for me to be able to see, that's why I love bending my pyramid. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. So here we can just look into this very carefully. And how do we look into it very carefully? We can put the values. It has this is PQRS. I can make this one P, Q, R, and X. So we are told it's 32 centimeter. So if it is 32 centimeter, I can decide to find the diagonal of the what? Of the rectangle. And that is what you might have also learned from your teachers. These are basic things. So let's use the rect. So the diagonal of this one will be the length that can be drawn from this point to this point, the longest length. So which is always the root 2 of this particular length. Sorry, diagonal not drawn to square. This is also 32. So the longest length we are talking about here, my dear students, will be from Pythagoras theorem. You might show it if you want to show it. But the first information has to draw the diagram which I've drawn. So if I draw out the height of this pyramid, the way we do it. Another way is if you are not okay with this, you can also do something like this. And draw your longest length from here to here. Anyhow, some people draw it like this. Some teachers love it like this for their students so that they will be able to visualize the vertex if it is dropped here because it's always at the midpoint, which is like this. So I always prefer drawing it the other way, and the reason is nothing but because I believe it is always going to be okay because it's going to look like a right angle triangle, which is what the property we want to use. I hope you understand, my dear students. So please, anyhow you draw it, I'm only trying to show you different ways of drawing this. Because of time, yes, students, let us. So this is always at the midpoint. And if this is angle bisector, you know what I mean, guys. So this is it. So this guy is now called the height of the pyramid. So that's the way we draw. So there are arbitrary ways of drawing. I think this is better. So there are other ways in which you can do it is also acceptable. So from here, guys, let's answer the next question. We have done this, which is number 3. I think number 4. Calculate its height. To get the height of this pyramid, we have to get the longest distance from this one to this one. From Pythagoras theorem, you don't need to waste time. So the longest distance, RQ, you can say RQ squared is equals to 32 squared plus 32 squared. So RQ equals to 32 root 2 centimeter. So that is RQ. So what I'm trying to say now is that this particular length here is at the midpoint of this diagonal. So we have to divide distance from here. Maybe I call this vertex was called V. According to the line of your question, that is V. So this V now, if the length of this guy to this guy is 32 root 2. I hope you are following because all these are very, very important. Wow, 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 wow. Not 32 here. Look at the misinterpretation, which will have cost us mark. It is a slant height that is 32. My word. So this is 32 centimeters as a slant height. Then this guy was 15 and 15. The square base was 15 centimeters PQR. So that's the information. So it's using the same Pythagoras theorem to get RQ. RQ square is 15 square plus 15 squares when I get to this. So RQ will now be equals to square root of 15 square the bracket 1 plus 1. Please, you may not follow this. Use your calculator. It's a Waec exam. I'm just trying to show you how I come about my own 15 root 2 centimeter. That's the total length. So I said distance from here, from the top here to this point is midpoint. So what I'm trying to bring out here, dear student, is just basically this triangle now. Wow. So triangle, this triangle from OV, let me call this guy OVQ. So OVQ, my dear student, is a triangle like this. I want to draw it the way it looks like. That is the way it looks like. So look at that. This is the height of the triangle. This guy was, I told you, this length now, RV or VQ, it's half of this. So half of this, just for you to know, RV or VQ, I said VQ now. So you can just write VQ equals to 1/2 of 15 root 2. That is dividing 15 root 2 by 2. So you can say this guy is 15 root 2 over 2. And this guy is 32. You know, it's a right angle triangle again. So you just use Pythagoras theorem to get the final answer. So let's use Pythagoras theorem also to get the answer. So there, from here, my dear students, I should be equals to, it should be h squared will be equals to 32 squared. Look at the way I'm writing, plus 15. Please, you can use your calculator to get 15 root 2 over 2 all square. It's not necessary you leave the answer in such form. This is Waec. So h will now be the square root of 32 squared plus 15 root 2 over 2 squared. So that's the work of calculator, which I'm also using now. Please don't think because I'm a teacher I don't use calculator, it is allowed. So on simplification, the height here, we have to leave the answer to one decimal place. I'm having 30.19106. So 30.2 centimeter is the answer to the height of this question. I hope you understand that. So this is just some type of question you should expect on the solid shape. You should expect something like a pyramid and prism. So please be careful about this type of question. They are popular, and one thing about Waec is that they don't stay in the system. They follow the same pattern. So the next is the volume to the nearest or centimeter cube. So because of that, maybe I should just do the volume and borrow this side here. Volume of the pyramid is 1/3 area of base times the height. So from here is a square base, 1/3 times the base of the square, length times breadth, or L squared, 15 times 15, multiplied by the height is 30 point, I'm not approximately this time around, 19106. That was the direct value I got from calculator. So let me punch this. We punch this. 15 times 15 is 225. Multiplied by, I'm punching 30.19106. Dividing my answer by 3. And I want to leave my answer in the nearest, so that's 2264 centimeter cube. Nearest centimeter. So answer to this, and that is what we're expected to do. So guys, these are some questions that you cannot run away from. I'm telling you, you can't run away from them. So you just have to understand how it is being done. So guys, we move to the next one, question number 9. Question number 9. About question number 9. Question number 9 is saying, I think these are one of the famous questions we cannot run away from as well. That is question on sort, on logarithms and indices. Question 9 says, if log base A argument y plus 2 is equals to 1 plus log base A argument x, or log y plus 2, let me call it the way you guys are used to calling it in schools, log y plus 2 base A is equals to 1 plus log x base A. Find x in terms of y as the subject of the formula or subject of relation. So let's do that. I think this is also simple. I think I will need to because take out long questions. So solving the first one, question 1 now. Solving this one, we have to make S of formula. We can just say y plus 2 because they have the same base. This one is A is equals to A times x is AX. I also don't understand how I come about this. If it is no, this is what I have done. Log a y plus 2. I'm sorry, I'm taking y student. I'm sorry about that. I have to show you some process. But I believe you have learned. One is simply as saying log a to base a. You have learned that plus log x to base a. I don't want it to be too big. So what I've done is, because they have the same values, a, you can see this is log 1a. It's connected by plus a times x, ax. And this guy is also log a y plus 2. So what I've done is this gets cancelled out. I have y plus 2 equals to x. That is what I've done. But I just believe you should know that. That's why I just have to write this directly. So we are making x a formula, divide both side by a. Divide both side by a. So x will be equals to y plus 2 over a. So that's the answer to that question. So you can see the simple question. And the second one is more like a pie chart question. We are told the table below shows the distribution of timber production in 5 communities in a certain year. The communities are Biani, Amenfi, Oda, Weaso, and Sankore. I hope I pronounced it well. Then the timber production in tons are 600, 900, 1800, 1500, and 2400, respectively. We have to draw a pie chart to represent this. You know, pie charts are always in terms of the angle, so you have to show the angle of each of them. I may not show all the values, but I'll do one for you. Let's add all these guys together. Adding this one together, you can see I'm adding the plus here. Should give me 600, 15, 15 plus 15, that's 3000, 3000 plus 42. That is 7200. So that's the total. So if I want to get for Bibiani, Bibiani, it will be the sectorial angle is 600 out of 72 multiplied by 360. Double zero gets cancelled. 6 here, 1, 6 here, 12, 12 here, 9, 12 here, 3. That's 30. So 30 degree will be the angle I will draw out for this. In sequence, I'm going to do that for all. I'll do for Amenfi2. Amenfi. Sorry if I didn't pronounce the locality well for those that are from that area. So it should be, the angle is 900 over 72. I'm multiplying by 360. Then you solve. These two get cancelled. 9 times 8, that is 9 times 8 is this, 9 times 8 is 72. So we can say 360 over 8. That is what we have. So we draw the angle as well. 45. So that's 45 degrees. So you continue in that sequence to draw all to get all the angle. The next one is 1800. That is Oga. So you do that as well. Oga. 1800 over 72. A calculator times 360. Double zero gets cancelled out. 18 here 1. 18 times 4 is 72. This should be 90 degrees, which you know how to show the sign on your pie chart. The next one I'll do by the side because of space. 1500 over 72. That is which community now? We are so times 360. Double zero gets cancelled out. We have 15 divided by 72 times 360, 75 degrees. So guys, I hope you can finish up. So now to not to waste our time, you also do the same thing for 2, 4. This is for we are also. So then the next one you do for 2, 4. The same thing, those 0, 24 here, 1, 24 here, 3, 3 here, 1, 12, 120 degrees. So the next is to plot. You have to draw the pie chart, but you have to show this rough calculation because if that is not shown, Waec will not give you the full marks. So please always try to make sure you follow the line of the question. It's very, very important. So here, guys, drawing this one directly, I have drawn it out. So this is just it. I hope you know how to draw. And if you don't know how to draw, please, you can learn from me. It's not a big deal. These are all the angles. And you can see 90 or that, and so on and so forth. So just place your protractor and try to measure the angle at the center, then you will continue in that manner. So it's very easy to do that. So the first one, you can start from 90, another angle will be on top of it. Just draw a circle around it. And that is the first question. So the second question, which I'll do by the side, the second question says, what percentage of timber produced that year was from Amenfi? Percentage is in terms of 100. Where is Amenfi? Amenfi is 45. So what we're going to do is just to go with Amenfi. It's 45 degree, but the total amount is 900. So 900 out of 72, we're multiplying by 100 because we're looking for percentage. So use double zero gets cancelled. 9 here 1, 9 here 8. So 100 over 8 should be 12.5%. So that's the answer to that. Then the third question, number 3, says if a ton of timber is sold at $560, how much more revenue older community received than Biabian? So that means you are subtracting. Where is older? Where is Biabani? 600. So each of them is sold for. So therefore, this is a straightforward question. And also therefore, directly we can say, we conclude, if each of them, if it is sold for 560, I'm looking for the difference between two community, which first one order is 1,800 minus the second community is just 600. So the difference between the money is just this. So when punching my calculator, 1 2 times 560 is giving me $672,000. So which is the answer to that answer? So that's the start, guys, about all the question for this. So we'll go to the last question, I think number 10. I hope it is the last, but I'm not sure it's the last. This is question 10. Question 10 asks us to look into some questions like this. I'll be fast about this too because there's no more time. We are actually out of time. Mr. John paid 4,800 on 1 naira. No, this is not 4,000. Please change it. This is 8,400. Please start the question. I think it was a typo from the Mosey Academy team. So please, it's 8,400. This notes that 8,400. So now 8,400 in 1 naira ordinary shares of a company which sold 2 naira 50 per share. If the dividend was declared as 25 per share, how much dividends did he get? This is also another important and one of the most important questions of Waec. So solving this one, I think this is also wow. The line is not straight. That's why I said wow. Yes, we have initial money was 8.4 and they are selling it at 250 per share. So amount of what the quantity, total amount, the quantity the man bought. Quantity bought today, I said it's 8.4. Please don't make mistake. The value each of them is 2 naira 50 kobo. So doing that, or 2.5 anyhow. Punching my calculator, I have so the person bought 3,360 shares. So to know the amount of dividend, it is 25 kobo per share. So please note that 25 kobo dividend was given per share. 25 kobo per share. You know, this is, I'm doing this in terms of naira. Please let us be careful about this. So 25 kobo will now be 0.25 naira. 0 naira 25. Please note that. So amount of dividend received by the man. Dividend received. And now be equals to 3,000, 3,360 shares and it was given a dividend of 0.25 per share. So the total dividend that the man is having is, this should be giving us 840 naira. So that's the answer to the first question, which I think it is direct. So the second question. The second question says, using the method of completing the square, solve 1 minus x plus x over 1 minus 1 minus x over x plus x over 1 minus x equals to 5 over 2. I think the first thing we need to do here is just to remove all the solve and make it a quadratic equation. Let's do it together. We can all do quadratic equation. But this time around, the instruction is completing the square plus x over 1 minus x is equals to 5 over 2. On simplification, my dear student, we can say this is nothing but LCM thing. If we go by LCM thing, thinking this is going to waste our time, but I'm going to jump some process. What I mean by jump process does not mean you don't get it. So you can say LCM is the product of x and 1 minus x. It's a waste of time, I guess. 1 minus x squared plus this gets cancelled by x squared is equals to 5 over 2. Let's simplify this. You can simplify cross multiplication. On simplification, this will give us 9x squared. This you can confirm the simplification, minus 9x plus 2 is equals to 0, which is a quadratic equation you are going to have. So if you have this quadratic function, my dear students, what you are expected to do from this quadratic function is to use the completing the square method. I hope you are getting this. So we have to use the completing the square method. Then using the completing the square method here, we have to make the square in terms of ax squared plus bx plus c. You know what I mean? So the coefficients must not be greater than 1 of x squared. So the first thing is divide 2 by 9, which is the first thing you are skipping at the back of your mind. So doing that, you know what I mean? X squared minus x as 9 over 9 is 1 plus 2 over 9 is equals to 0. So let's continue from this side. So using completing the square, the first method is add to both sides to make it a complete square. That's what I'm trying to do. And if you want to rearrange this one before that, you can say x squared minus x is equals to minus 2 over 9. So then you say add to both sides, the square of half of the coefficients of x. So on simplification, I guess we are going to waste our time. So the coefficient of x is 1. So if you add to both sides the square of half of coefficients of half of 1 is 1 over 2. So I'm adding 1 over 2 to both sides. Doing that one, and we get it on this one, it's going to give us x squared. I don't want to waste our time. Minus 1 over 2 all square directly is equals to, this is 1 minus 1 over 2 square minus 2 over 9. So doing this one directly, I can say this should give me x squared minus 1 over 2 square is equals to, you guys know, when you square a negative value, this is 1 over 4 minus 2 over 9. So on simplification, without wasting time, guys, x is equals to, I hope you can see this, x is equals to, taking square root of both sides, we know that, square root now x will be equals to 2 over 3 or x equals to 1/3. You can try that. How is that when we are taking square? This is also a perfect square. Well, I've made it a perfect square. LCM is 9. You know what I mean? If LCM, I said LCM is 9. Sorry about that. LCM is 36. So going by 36, 4 here, that's 9. 9 minus 2. I hope you understand what I'm doing. 9 minus 9 and 6 is 4. 8. So 9 minus 8 is 1. So I have 1/36. I hope students understand that. I took SN 1/4 minus 2/9. Everybody can do it. If I'm showing you that one here because of those that don't understand, minus 2/9. This is what I have done. LCM is 36. 9 minus 4 times 2, 8. It's 1/36. I hope you understand it. So which is the perfect square? Square root of 1/36 is 1/6. So square root of this one is that. So taking square root of both sides and factorizing. So plus or minus, that's 2/3. So that's what I did. I hope you understand. So 1/2 plus 1/6 or 1/2 minus 1/6. So that is what I did. And I have the answer of this and this. So guys, that is all for now. Then I think the next question should be question 11. So question 11 will be the next question. Let's see question 11. Question 11, please come up. So very good. Question 11. So this question says the point R 3,6 in coordinates. X is 6, -2, and T is P, Q are on the XY plane. If 1/3 of the ray of OR plus that ray of OX plus ray of OT is equals to RS, find the coordinate of T. Well, so let's do something to get the coordinate of T. So RST are on the XY plane. You can try as much to draw the point on the XY plane. You guys know how to draw XY plane. So actually see how this thing is going to look like. But because of my time, I told you I don't want to use all the 14 questions. I'm not going to use more than 2 hours or 1 hour 45 minutes. That is the proposed time I have proposed. So I don't want to go against it because that is what I asked for. So about the solution, we can write a general solution and try to draw out the coordinates. 3 when x is 3, y is -6, 3 -6. And see, you will see that this stuff is going to form a triangle. O in this case is the point of origin. So more like a vector form we did in further math. So this is more like understanding of some concept before you delve into getting all the solution. So the first thing I'm gonna do here is to get the ray of RS. Because say all these things is equals to RS. I can break the RS here. So ray RS directly will be equals to, let's just do it in coordinates. R is 3, 6, S is 6, 2. So it will be R to S means XR, taken from the point of origin position vector. So don't worry, all these are simple things. S is X here is 6 minus 2. Then I'm subtracting from R is 3 and is also -6. It's a simple question. I'm doing this one, that's 6 minus 3 is 3 minus 2 minus -6. -2 minus 6 is -2 plus 6, and that is 4. I hope you don't understand this. So to understand that, you can try as much as possible. You can draw your XY plane, locate these points, and try to find. So what I'm trying to say is that RS will be equals to the point of OS minus O1. I'm taking the point of origin to be O. So that is that about that. I don't want to waste your time because these are simple questions. So on substitution now, to solve this on substitution, to this expression, we are given that 1/3 of rho r plus rho s plus, I say rho line anyhow, rho t is equals to rs, which I calculated now to be 3, 4. So I think the rest is now very simple to do. You'll just substitute the value of each of these, which you know, which on substitution 1/3 of r is given as 3 minus 6. This is hanging, apologies. So I think it's back 3 negative 6 and plus this guy qs, that is it's a qs 6 negative 2 and plus t t t t t t t t t t t t t t is t is what I've calculated here. Or t, okay, t is what I'm looking for. Let me call it xy is now equals to 3. So on simplification, you know what I mean. This is 1/3 times 3 times 6. So solve that. You guys know what I mean. We focus on all these and all this. For example, this is 1. So it's like then 1 plus 6 plus x equals to 3. So I hope you understand that. So then the other one. So on simplification, now this should be equals to, I hope students are getting this. This is 1/3 times 3. I may show you. It's not that I can show you. It's just the time factor. 1/3 times 3. That is 1/3 times the 3 up here. No 3 we cancel 3 is 1. Then 1/3 times minus 6. For the 1 down. No 3 here 1, 3 here 2. 2 times this and there's a negative. Minus 2. So this guy now we turn to 1 minus 2. So you just focus on what is up. So now I have 1 is up here now from after simplification of this. 1 plus 6, 7. 7 plus x equals to 3. So you can say 1 plus 6, that is 7 plus x equals to 3. S is 3 minus 7, that is minus 4. Then the other one, the same thing. You know this guy is now minus 2, minus 2 minus 4 plus y is equals to 4. So that is 4 plus 4, that is 8. So this is the answer to your question. So this is what the examiner just said. Sometimes most of you run away from this type of question, but there are the simple questions that you can even solve without anybody helping you or intervening, or without you going to go and look for the graph questions or construction questions. You understand my point? Because I don't believe in all those fact that there is nothing you guys cannot do. You can solve everything if you are taught. So that is the essence of watching the videos from beginning till the end. So the next question is B. About this B, we have 2 times of this plus this, n times of this is this and this. More like matrices now. Let's do it in terms of matrix form. Let's use this 2 to expand this guy. 2 times 3, that's 6. Then n times 1, that is n. I hope you are following. Is equals to just like what I did here. What is up here is 8. Then the next one, the one under 2 times m. 2m, 2n times 2. 2n is equals to 4. So we solve this one from here, make n square from now. N is 8 minus 6. N is 2. Substitute that here. You see that this is 4 minus 4 is 0. N is equals to 0. So that's the answer for m and n. And that's the solution to your question. I hope you understand what I'm doing. Because this is more like simultaneous equation, but it's not simultaneous because equation 1 on its own can be solved. You can get n. When you move this to the right hand side, you're going to have 2. So put that 2 where you see n. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. That's that. 0 divided by 2 is 0. You show your process of working. It is always needed. Then the C part, I'm going to do C here. Now, solving for C now, we have U asterisk, I can't see W asterisk U. I'll help you write. Well, W asterisk U is equals to W plus U plus 1. That's the operation that I was given. So the question says if Y asterisk Y asterisk 4 asterisk y is equals to 12. You have to find y. So y asterisk 4? You can do it one by one. Y asterisk 4 means this guy is y and this guy is 4. Just substitute into the expression. So that means you are going to have what you mean y plus 4 plus 1. So you are now making this answer an asterisk with 4 again. So what it means now is that this guy is now this guy is now your W now. This guy is now your U. You substitute again to the operation. So doing that, do that 2 times. You can say y W is y plus 4 plus 1. 4 plus 1 is 5. Y plus 5 plus U is 4 plus 1. All these things was said to give you 12. So that's the start. So from simplification, y is equals to 10, 12 minus 10. Y is equals to 2. I hope I didn't make a mistake. So we can always check if there's no mistake on what I've done. So y is 2 from what I'm seeing here. We can check again. W asterisk is W plus U plus 1. W, that is y plus 4 plus 1. So then y plus 4 plus 1 is asterisk with this again. Then W is this. Y plus 4 plus 1. Oh, wow. Y plus 4 plus 1. Yes, asterisk. Then U is equals to 4. U is equals to 4. This we have to be careful about this question because I'm seeing a mistake somewhere, which is unlike me. The first one is correct. This is y. I'm substituting here, guys. Y plus 4 plus 1. So y plus 5 is the answer to this operation. So y plus 5 asterisk y. So guys, this should be y plus 5 asterisk, if you can see, y plus 5 is this plus this one is y. That is why the problem is called. That's why. Why is this? So mathematics sometimes you just have to be careful so that you don't make mistakes. So I actually missed that. So y plus y is 2y plus 6 is 12. So y is equals to 12 over 6. That is 6 over 2. So answer is equals to 3. So it's a correct answer. So and let's start about question number 11. So we move to 12. We are almost there. It's 14 question. Question 12 is your popular question on Polygon. This is one of the most important questions as well. You can always expect this. So it's hot cake. Polygon, definitely OBJs and theory. You expect something like that. Solution to that as well. Let's use a black pen or a black ink. The ratio of the interior angle to the exterior angle is 5:2. Everybody knows that ratio is a division. So interior angle 180 n minus 2. Exterior angle is 360. So let's do this. Each interior angle, because it's the best way to get this. Each of them, so 180 n minus 2, we'll divide this by the number of sides. Each exterior, we also say the 360 divided by the number of sides. So that's just what I will use directly, not to waste my time. So now we have the ratio of both interior and exterior angle. Each of the interior angle and each of the exterior angle is 5/2. So we can put this into ratio 180 n minus 2 divided by n. Ratio, consider ratio is divided 360 over n is equals to 5/2. So this is what you want to solve, my dear students. Solving this one, this guy will flip over 180 n minus 2 over n. You are multiplying this by n over 360 is equals to 5/2. So this gets cancelled out. You can also cancel, if you don't know what to cancel, 180 n and 180 2. So you can now cross multiply this guy. On simplification, we should be having something like 2 is multiplying this, whatever. I'm having 2, whatever. So I can also cancel out more. I don't like wasting time. You can do it in your own way. 2 will also cancel out 2. Just doing that directly. So what I have left is n minus 2 is equals to 5. So n equals to 7. We did the question answer. So guys, the next question is this diagram. The diagram shows a circle of PQRS. We've done something like Polygon there before. Cyclic Polygon, I think it's the same concept. So let's look into this together. PQRS is with a center of O. Wow. We are told that UOR is 68 degrees and TPS is 74 degrees. This guy is 74. This guy is 68. Then the examiner asked us to find, okay, also QSR is 40. QSR is 40. Okay, fine. So we are looking for angle PRS. PRS. Only this guy. Only that guy. That's what we are looking for. So let's do that. If we try to make it bigger or lighter so that you guys can see it well. Okay. That's a triangle. Okay. And in it we have a line was actually coming. How this is visible? Because I can see it from my own screen. Don't know if you guys can see it. Can you guys see it? Okay, that is 68 was outside, and this guy was now coming from here to here. Wow. The other one was coming from here to here. But I should change to a black because I trust black than any other stuff. And this guy from here to here. Then this guy also from here to here. And finally guy from here to here. So for us to see clearly, that is the essence of the drawing. This was O. I think this is testing about two concepts or 2.5 concepts. Your triangle, your angle at the same segment, and I think that's all. 68 degrees. So let's start from angle at the same segment theorem. If this guy is 40, since O is the center of the circle, this guy is also 40. Angle at the same segment are equal. That's the first thing. So you can just look at the segment from point R and Q, and that is why I'm redrawing. So see, this point here is equal to this point here. I hope students can see that. Like, it's the middle one you guys can see is basically the one here is equal to the one here. Yes, correct. If I start the chord from here too, it's the same thing here. 40 here, also 40. As you can see, I'm only bending that. I hope you. It's just because I'm not turning on the camera because of the size of the video. I don't want it to be too big, that I'll be able to upload easily. So now, what I'm doing now is just a kind of angle at the same segment, right? Which was this. So same segment give me the angle at P. So you can just write solution from this side from triangle QPR. That is Queen Park Rangers. From triangle QPR. Yeah, just QPR. I'm only joking, guys. For those who don't understand Queen Park Rangers, it's like ladies. You can see from this triangle now we have a stereo angle equals to sum of two opposites. Why did I know that these and these are equal? Because this is center of the circle. These are radar. Please note that radar. So and again, this is only the one that are radial. So this guy and this guy and this guy and this guy from the center. But I am talking about triangle now. I want to bring my triangle. I'm talking about triangle QPR or PQR. Anyhow you want to call it, any name you want to call it. just follow my lead, please. It's important to follow my lead. Let's make it look like the way it is. So it is more like that. So here was 40. I'm drawing out triangle QPR. I'm looking for this angle, just this inner one. Let's call it Y. And the stereo angle was 68. From your, what's it called? Triangle stuff. A stereo angle is always equals to sum of two opposite interior angle. There was an exterior like that, not to scale, which was 68. So on simplification, my dear student, you can say 40 plus y is equals to 68. Y answer here is 28 degree. So which was the angle at this point? Now I've gotten this guy to be 28 degree. So when you understand theorems, I don't think you guys are having any issue with all these things. If you follow my class and if you are new to the channel, you can kindly subscribe to it. And you can, I can tell you there are a lot more that you can learn from this channel and all our other channels of most academy. You can search out for them. The physics channel is also there. But nowadays I'm using this particular one because of one use of email, which I'm still trying to verify. Hopefully I'll get it soon. So now guys, I don't want to waste time. The question I asked me to calculate the value of angle of PRS. Let's say P, R, and this is S, and S. So I'm looking for this. I told you before that this is the angle you are looking for, this one. You can see, I showed you. So if I have known this guy, now I think it is now very simple to know that, because I know that the remaining angle here, there are two ways I can do it. I can actually do it in the sense that if this angle is 28 and this angle is I'm looking for this angle, the total angle here is 74. I told you this one before. A stereo angle of a what do you call it? The stereo angle of a quadrilateral is equals to sum of opposite interior angle. That is one way. Quadrilateral, cyclic quadrilateral. And if you don't want that way to, you can also do it in another way to get the remaining angle here. The remaining interior angle here. Like, but it is like you are wasting your time. The total angle in a straight line is 180. If this guy is 74, the remaining angle will be 180 minus 74. It is a long process, but if that is what you understand, use it. So the remaining angle inside is 106. Out of the 106, 40 is here. So you can say 40 minus 106. I hope you are getting that. So that's that. So basically, the total angle from here to here is 106, which is not like the question I did in question 3. So if you say 106, then this is the opposite angle. You will see what I'm talking about. So the opposite angle are always supplementary. That is, this guy and this guy should be. So this guy is 74. So you can see because it's 106 plus 74 that will give you 180. So now I'm looking for this one. Let's call it small letter Z. So we know that total angle is 74. So look at the theorem I said now. A stereo angle of a cyclic quadrilateral is equal to what? Opposite interior angle. 68 here is equal to 68 of the total angle here. So basically now I can just say the final answer is Z plus 28 is equals to 74. So you simplify that and you get to answer. So Z answer is now equals to 74 minus 28. So if you do that well, that should be 46. So that's the answer. You can always write reason. You can write reason a stereo angle. It's also a stereo angle law. So it's always important to write readings because I've done something similar to this. That is why I'm not going to waste my time. So the answer to the question is 46, and that is the correct answer. Guys, to the last question, I told you I'm doing 14 questions in all. The last was not the least, should be the next one. I hope it is the last. Oh, not the last. Maybe I'll still have one more. So it is the question 13 now. Wow. Actually, I'm tired, but I just have to finish it because I have promised to finish everything. Just for you guys to have your A's, read the instructions, not all questions. You're only solving 10 questions, 10 of the best you know you can solve easily. If you have watched this video completely, I don't think you should have any problem solving just 10 questions out of the 14 or 15 questions you are going to be given. So in sequence, we have question number 14. Wow, that is a bad area. So you are 14 here, guys. Question 13 rather, question 13. Now about 13 we have the first term of an AP is -8. If the ratio of the seventh term to the ninth term, ratio is division, same concept, but this time around sequence. Wow, seventh term to the ninth term is 5:8. The common difference of the AP is that for an AP, you can just keep this in mind. For an AP, formula is A plus n star A plus n minus 1D. For a GP, because question might be on GP this year, is ARn minus 1. N stands for numbers of terms, D stands for common difference, and R stands for common ratio. I believe you have been taught this in your classes. Then if you've not, you can also follow the lead. It's very simple. So the seventh term means N is 7. 7 minus 1, I guess, when is 6. So A plus 60. So the seventh term of this stuff, and it is A plus 60. We are giving A to be minus 8. So I'll write minus 8 plus 60 ratio over the ninth term. 9 minus 1, 8. So minus 8 is A plus 8D plus 8D. The ratio is 5:8. I hope you understand. So next thing is cross multiplication. By simplification, this is 64. On simplification of this, I believe all students preparing for this exam should be able to do that. -64 plus 6 times 8 are 48D. I'm cross multiplying and I'm expanding with 8 to open the brackets. I'm removing the brackets by 8. 5 times 8 are 40. This should be 40 -40 then plus 40. So collect like times here. 48 minus that is 8 that is 24. 8D is 24. 8 times 3 is 24. So D answer is equals to 3. So that's the answer to D for that question. So guys, that's that. B part of the question. Sorry, I have to rush now. I'm being given time because I'm being signaled that my 1 hour 45 minutes is almost. So a trader bought 30 baskets of pawpaw and 100 baskets of mangoes for 2,450 naira. So let pawpaw be P and mango be M. I'll do that directly. So we'll take pawpaw to be P. P for pawpaw, and M is for mangoes. So each of them, we are told that 30 baskets of pawpaw, 30P. I want to form simultaneous equation directly. When you know question, you don't need to waste time. 30P plus 100 mangoes, 100 M, the total I'm adding. That is why I added 2450, equation 1. She sold the pawpaw at a profit of 40%. 40% is 40 over 100. 40 over 100 times 30. 40 over 100 times 30. 40% of 30 is 12p. And a profit of 30% and a profit of 30% for the mango. 30 over 100 times 100. That is 30 plus 30m at a total, if the total profit was 855. So this is the simultaneous equation I am going to solve. So my dear student, on simplification of this simultaneous equation, I am going to have solving this simultaneous equation one by one. You can just distribute the values or reduce them. Some people will say divide equation 1 by 10 is good. 3p plus 10n equals to 245. I'm not sure this is writing right. Then 12p 3333. Can 855 divide 3? I don't know. I have to check my calculator. I think so. That's 285. So that is 4p plus 10 and equals to 285. So That is why it is sometimes good to what? I will just subtract the two equations. So this gets cancelled out. So when this gets cancelled, this is P will be equals to, this is just this minus this. If I'm not mistaken, this minus this should be 40. So when P is 40, you guys can get the value of the other one, M. Look at using the what? The straightforward, the most straightforward equation. If you do that well, we should be able to get that directly here. From this equation, I can say 10m is equals to 245 minus 3p. 3 times 40 is 120. 120 minus this one divided by 10. So that's 245 minus 120 is equals to 10m. You can finish this. M equals to 125 divided by, that's 12 naira 54. So these are the answers for your first solutions. So the second one says the selling price of, okay, this the first one only asks for the crap for that of purple. In fact, I don't need to do this one. This is the only answer I need. So this one is what? Rejected. So please note that. So the second question says, wow. The second question says the selling price of 100 baskets of mangoes. 100 baskets of mangoes. Each of them is 12 naira 50 dollars. So 100 baskets, 100 m. It just be 100 multiplied by 12.50. 12 naira 50 dollars. So and if you do this, this is 1,250. So that's the answer, guys. You can see my questions are overrated. There's nothing there if you actually know what you're doing. The last but not the least. I'm happy that is the last question. Wow. Wow. This one is too long. And time is not on my side. What will I do? So let's do it. The last question, question 14. We are without using mathematical table simplify. This question is one of the most important questions. Like I said, trigonometry ratio, trig ratio are very important. 2 times 60 degrees, let's do it together. 2 times 60 degrees plus cos 30 degrees over sine 60 degrees. So students should understand how to what express trig ratio in terms of short form. I think this is the only concept you just need to do here. So this is tan 60 is root 3. This is 2 root 3. And you can keep that at the back of your mind. There are some things I think I've done the hand demonstration of this. You don't need to cram. So if you know the hand demonstration, you can easily use it to just solve the question once and for all. Not to waste time. But if you don't know the hand demonstration, you can keep this 30, 60, 90 triangle stuff at the back of your mind. 30, 60, 90. So directly 30, 1, 2, 60 root 3. So that is how I come about my root 3. Tan is opposite over adjacent. Opposite over adjacent, root 3 over 1. Plus cos 30. Cos 30 from here, 30. Cos 30. I don't need to waste my time, it's what you know. Cos 30 is same as sine 60, root 3 over 2. You are dividing all your answer here by sine 60. Sine 60 is same as cos 30, which is root 3 over 2. So don't make mistake by saying you want to cancel out. This is a plus. So you have to go by LCM thing. So by LCM of 2 root 3, I'm just showing this. Maybe the other question, I don't have time to over root 3 over 2. I'm doing the numerator, you know what I mean, guys. LCM is 2. As I saying 4 root 3 plus root 3 over 2. Then I'm dividing it divided by what is under is root 3 over 2. When this one changes from that 2 gets cancelled out, then you can see your answer. You can see it will be 5 root 3. Let me show you. Lots of space, that is what I'm trying to manage. What I have now is 4 root 3 plus root 3, which is 5 root 3 over 2 times 2 over root 3. Everybody knows this gets cancelled out. So 4 root 3 plus 1 root 3, 4 plus 1, 5 root 3 over root 3. So root 3 gets cancelled out. Final answer to this question is 5. So we don't need to waste our time on that. That's the right answer to that. The big part of the question is, I think there's just multiple repetition. It is just two questions, which is this and this. So the last question, which is a B part, is question which is most important question. I can bet you to anything, you're definitely going to have elevation and depression. You cannot run away from it, that is sure. Surely, I'm very sure and positive that you guys have prepared well for it. From my forecast, I believe these are the type of elevation I will come up. So don't let us waste time. An aeroplane, from an aeroplane in the air, I want to change here. From an aeroplane in the air and at an horizontal distance of 1050 meter, the angle of depression of the top and the base of the control tower are at 36 and 41 respectively. So the normal angle between the line of vision, this is the line of vision, and object placed below it is called elevation depression. So this is the line of vision or line of your shadow. So the horizontal distance is 1050, the angle of depression of the top and base. The top and base, the first angle is 36, and the second angle is 45. So let's say the first angle, top is 36. Just take that here. No matter how the diagram look like, it must always form a triangle. That's the logic. And just give that logic. That's the top. And the other one is the base. Before I draw the base, let me just draw a kind of small height for this guy to lean on. This is the top, which is 36. And the base is the last question. You guys are going to use calculator. So top and base. So like I'm showing this guy as the top. Gets that? That's the guy at the top. I'm taking this guy as the base. So the top elevation angle between the line of vision, horizontal shadow direction is this. And the second one, I hope this diagram, we did know what I want. This is the second angle. Then, no matter how the diagram look like, it must always form a triangle. So let's form the triangle here. The first one, the angle of depression of the first one is 36. Here to here, the first one is here to here, 36. So you can also draw the base so that you have the right angle triangle. So the horizontal side must be parallel, as in the top here, the distance also must be the same thing as the graph. So we combine this guy also, trying to draw out a good diagram for you. I can just say no matter how, and the second one to the base was 41. So the guy here, yeah, wow. Guy here is 41. And the first law of triangle is they will alternate. So you can just bring your bisection also here so that you'll be able to visualize what we're talking about. So if you can predict the diagram already, the process is always simple. So 36 is going to alternate here as the top. And the 41, which is the angle here, is going to come down here. This is the way we draw the diagram. And I think it's now very simple. The distance is 1050. So which is also 1050 meter here, and now you are right, which is also 1050 meter on top. So that's that. This is like what you call tower or tower, whatever the way you're used to pronounce that, tower or tower. Tower, I think it's tower. So let's answer the question. Collect the nearest meter height of the tower. So this is the tower from base to the bottom. This is the height of the tower. So which is the same thing as the height here. So you can just do some simple mathematics. What do I mean by simple mathematics? You can label anything, any alphabet, just for you to be able to understand well. So if I need the height from here to here, it is just basically, if I can get the distance from this place, let me call this place point X and this place point Y. But let's use P and Q. Because if I use S and Y as values, P and Q. So if I can get the total length of this and I can get the length of it, for example, look at this triangle. From here, let's call this one R now also. So now from here, TRP, PTR, look at that triangle. Opposite over adjacent, that's tan. Basically, if you have studied this one in your classroom, this should be a simple question. Tan, what's the angle? Is it 36 degree equals to, let's call this side Y. Y over, as in I'm coming here, Y over 1050. So cross multiply. So Y is equals to 1050 times I tan 36. I'm having 762.8697. So I also do for the whole length from triangle PBQ. From triangle PBQ now. So let's do from PQ. We say the angle now is 41, opposite over adjacent, the same thing. Tan, but this time around is 41. As a short cut, I'm only showing it because of this theory. Tan 41 is equals to, let's call the total length now is PQ over the same base is 1050. So please calculator, just cross multiply. PQ will be equals to 41 times 1, tan 41 times this is giving me 912. Please you can verify 0.75116, whatever. So this is the values of mine. Y is, hope you know that Y is PR and this is PQ. But I'm asked to find the height of the tower. So the height of the tower is RQ, same thing as TB. You can see they have the same length. So you can now say therefore height of tower height is now equals to the subtraction. Here to here is 912.7156 and here to here is 762. Just to get the remaining side is just subtraction. So 912.75116 minus 762.8697. So final answer, my dear students, we are almost there. To the nearest, I think to the nearest meter, very good. So to the nearest meter, I don't know. So R, we have the value should be equals to, I think we have 150 meter to the nearest meter. I'm trying to point calculator. Please confirm that and verify that should be the correct answer. And that is the height of the tower. So the last question, maybe I should leave that for you guys to do something. Shortest distance between the aeroplane and the base of the tower. And I think this one is something that is very difficult to. Aeroplane, base of the tower. The distance between aeroplane and the base. We are looking for the length from here to here. When the angle is 41. Do you understand? Maybe I should just borrow this short side. So just bring out this triangle again. This time around you are looking for, let's call this one A. This is where you are looking for. So you can see it's the hypotenuse of this triangle. So hypotenuse, and which other side you know? You can say hypotenuse over opposite because I know PQ from here. PQ is 912 whatever. And I can also say again, this guy, I also know which other side I just calculated. Okay, shortest distance. I have calculated this guy. I love this question. It should be, what is opposite over adjacent over hypotenuse is cos. So cos 41 is equals to the shortest distance A over the longest length here is or basically I can just do it directly, not to waste time. The question says the shortest distance between the aeroplane and the base of the tower. Aeroplane, and this is the base of the tower, this is the aeroplane. So the shortest distance between the base and the aeroplane. So please be careful about this question. It's very technical. I have calculated the distance from here to here. From here to here now is 150. This you can subtract this one, 150, yes, 150. So I can just do that directly. Why am I even wasting my time? So I can just say the shortest distance is equals to shortest distance. This thing is lagging, it's not writing, and that's my last question. I just wait to come up with a very good back. Shows the shortest distance. Will now be equals to, that is 105. So 105 divided by cos 41. So, which is the same thing as saying, if you want to write it, because of space, you can say cos theta, because the angle is adjacent over, the adjacent is 1050 over the distance A. For those who are not getting what I'm doing, this is what I've done. I only try to manage this space, and if you press this one to the nearest meter, it should give you 1391. So that's that. So that's what I did, guys. This is the shortest time from here to here. I use this triangle PBQ. Then I said I use this base. This is opposite adjacent over hypotenuse, and I use cosine. And I was able to get the Soviet formula to have this. So this is where I'm going to stop, guys. So please, guys, kindly share this content for your friends to also sit down and actually learn one or two things and do revision, quick revision. Please make sure you understand all the concepts. If you have any question, you can send them directly to my mail at mostlyacademy@gmail.com or directly to our WhatsApp link and I'll tell you guys. So see you guys soon. Wish you all good luck in your first one examination. Bye for now.